What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of my San Jose Sharks franchise mode series. After winning 7 Stanley Cups in 10 years with Toronto Maple Leafs, I wanted to challenge, and I feel like the Sharks give us just that. You can see top players there: Brent Burns, Erik Karlsson, and Logan Couture. Thing is, they have a lot of bad contracts on this team, and they're all on older players. Also, too, they're not really that high rated. 85 overall, ties them with the Ducks, who aren't that great. The Kings are the worst specific there at 81, but still, they're tied for the second lowest rated team in the Central. Only team lower rated than them is Chicago Blackhawks. So San Jose getting older, and like I mentioned, they have a ton of money tied up in players that are on the decline. For the settings here, owner mode will be turned off, salary cap and computer trades, only thing we're going to keep on there. And look at the rest of the settings here, guys, trying to use the most authentic ones possible. So we have the game style set to 4-4 full sim. Injuries, though, turned off because they are so annoying to deal with. Period length 20 minutes. Of course, we have the authentic cap penalties on. Computer trades, of course, are on. Draft pick ownership, authentic, salary cap on. Trade difficulty, though, I have set to hard, which I think sometimes makes it almost a little bit too hard. But like I mentioned at the beginning, I'd rather challenge than it being too easy. Now, I am going to have the sim engine scoring set to highs. I think that's actually a bit more realistic than leaving it on medium. So that all looks good. So like I was saying, guys, the contract situation on this team is absolutely horrendous. In the 5th season, we are still going to be paying 39-year-old Brent Burns, maybe even 40 years old by that point, $8 million. Karlsson, 11.5, Couture, $8 million, Kane, $7 million, Edward Vlasic, $7 million. They're all going to be mid to late 30s. And then we still have to pay Karlsson, Couture, and Vlasic the season after that. Karlsson, Couture, 2 more seasons. Like, we are definitely in a tough spot here. You might notice, too, I actually downgraded Karlsson to an 87. I feel like right now his play is not that great, so being the same rating as Burns and Doughty, for that matter, is probably fair. Now, we do have some good younger players: Timo Meier, Kevin LeBanc, Thomas Hertl there, still only 26. So we definitely can build around those guys. But the thing is, none of them are really superstars. Goaltending-wise, Dubnyk, 34, 83 overall. Jones, 30, 82 overall. Jones also has a pretty bad contract, making almost $6 million for the next 4 years. So a lot of contracts we got to try and move out. But like I was saying, in this first year, we're really not that bad of a team. And real quick, guys, I want to thank Raycon for sponsoring today's video. I've actually had a pair of their everyday E25 earbuds for about a year now, and I really enjoy them. They cost about half the price of other leading audio brand earbuds, come in a variety of different colors. You guys can see here, I've actually gone with the classic black. This little charging case is good for about 6 hours, which is really, really nice. One of the best things I've noticed is just how fast the Bluetooth seamless pairing is. Like, I opened up this case and I see on my phone it's already paired up. They've also got a lot of bass and, of course, a nice noise isolating fit. They also have a bunch of different sizes here I can show you guys, so they should fit your ear perfectly. Obviously, if you're working out or something, you definitely don't want these moving around. And with spring just around the corner, these are really good for any sort of outdoor activity, whether it be running, biking, you name it. Now, the company was co-founded by Ray J, and Snoop Dogg's a big fan of these, which I think is very cool after he was featured in NHL last year. Also, guys, on top of all that, they have a 45-day free return policy, so you can try them out risk-free. No reason not to give them a try. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So if you guys are interested at all, click the link in the description box below, or go to buyraycon.com/TacTixHD to get 15% off your first order. Obviously, doing so is going to help with the channel, so I'd really appreciate you guys checking these out. Again, that's buyraycon.com/TacTixHD. I'll show you guys how the trade values look. Defensively, we have a nice top 3 for right now, even though they're all older, but there's really not that much depth there. Ryan Merkley, highest trade value on this team. That's surprising. 20 years old, 69 overall, medium elite. You can see Karlsson there going down to 87 with that big contract. Not a lot of value, and honestly, that's probably pretty fair value for him. I think maybe even has lower value than that in real life. So yeah, definitely not a lot to work with here, but I like it. It'll be a challenge for sure. Dubnyk there, pretty cheap, and he's decent rating. That's why he's actually got some value. Jones is going to be tough to move out, but I think that honestly might be the first thing I try and do here. Also, guys, I want to give you a look at the head coach here, Jeremy Hurtis. He's going to be our head coach for the entire franchise. That way we can kind of get a recap of everything when the series is over. Doesn't look to be too bad either. Everything's an A there except for coach influence, which is a B. Teaching A is really nice. We get some, younger players on this team. Now, I do see the staff chemistry is 52%. I'm not too worried about it right now, as I am going to be moving out some players, but not really the greatest staff chemistry even for the start. And look at the lines right now, guys. Even though the coach's team fit's not that great, the chemistry is amazing. We're getting a +3 there for the entire top 6. Marlowe, Hertl, and Meier on the first line. Balcers, Couture, and Kane on the second. Even Sorensen, Donato, and LeBanc there get a +1. You got Nosen, Gambrell, and Yed on the fourth line. Defensively, look at this. Edward Vlasic and Burns get a +5 on that top pair. Then you have Karlsson and Simek getting a +1. And Ferraro and Jaros on the bottom pair get a 0, which isn't too bad. I'm wondering, does Karlsson Okay, no. So Burns is the +5. Carlson, even though he's also offensive, only gets a +1. That is insane chemistry. Like, those two can be playing like 89 and 92, which is why, like I was saying before, we actually have a chance here to make a run, I think, in the first season. And after that, basically it'll be full rebuild. Also, guys, in case you're wondering, quick look here at the AHL team. I'm not going to lie, it's not great. Antti Samela here, we usually get in free agency, like, you know, second or third season. After that, like, there's really not too many players here. Medium top 6 forwards or medium top 4 defensemen. So I don't see too many of these guys making it through the NHL team, but you never know. If they get just a lucky sim or whatever, I've seen crazier things happen. But like I was saying, first order of business, I think, is trying to trade Martin Jones' contract. Hopefully someone will take it from us. So right here, guys, I'm trying to offer Martin Jones, Curtis Gabriel, and a 4th round pick to the St. Louis Blues for Tyler Bozak and Husso. Bozak is just there for the contract, 80 overall, making $5 million, only for 1 more year. So we can eat his contract this year, then it's gone, where Jones are paying for 4 more. Now, I am retaining $1 million on Jones, just to make it a bit more appealing to them. The $1 million doesn't really hurt me too much. We're still saving almost $5 million. Husso, 25.77, basically just have the backup this year. 4th rounder, because neither of those guys are on the block, but they do like Jones and our 4th. Let's see what they say to this one. Trades accepted. Wow, I think we just fleeced the Blues with that. So after that trade, guys, here's an update look at the lines. Obviously, didn't touch that top 6. Getting +3 on both is amazing. Tyler Bozak there is now our 4th line center, so I don't think it's too bad. Defense hasn't changed. I don't think I showed you guys the special teams. The first unit actually gets a +3, which is really nice. Second unit +1. 4-man power play also gets a +1 on the first unit. PK is a couple zeros. 3-man's 2 -1s, but that was the best I could get it. It was like a -3 and a -2 before I messed around. Dubnyk, there's our starter. Husso backing him up. Again, I don't think we're that bad of a team, especially with the chemistry boost. I think we're for sure going to be fighting for a playoff spot. I noticed our 1st round draft pick actually has a ton of value, so if I do think, you know, we're playing pretty good early on, I'm definitely going to look to trade that before it drops in value. Brent Burns for a 2nd, 2/5, and Halak. I honestly, I could get rid of his contract, which is nice, but I'd rather just go for the cup this first year. And it's good to know, too, that we can move him still without, you know, having to pay somebody. Like, he's got value, like 87 overall. Also, too, his contract length's not too bad. Now, let's see offense, defense, goaltending ratings, 87, 87, and 80. So, we're okay. Could be better. I want to get started with the sim here and just kind of see, you know, how this team performs. And just as I started simming, guys, Columbus offered us Lincoln and a 6th round pick for a 3rd and a 4th. Thing is, I don't really want to take on any more contracts. We already have enough. I'm trying to get rid of ours, so gonna say no. And the Anaheim Ducks offering us a 2nd and 4th round pick for Evander Kane. He's got a big contract, as I was mentioning, but I feel like should be able to get more for him. And I just got a very interesting trade from the Vegas Golden Knights, guys. I want to give us Marc-Andre Fleury, a 2nd, a 5th, and a 6th for Edward Vlasic, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 6th. I feel like it's basically a 1-for-1, but we would be winning the draft picks by a little bit. Now, the thing is, Edward Vlasic's currently getting a +5 with Brent Burns. I feel like if I ride him out for this season, he could go up in rating, getting a +5, playing top pair. Then we could sell him for more in the off-season. And Fleury still has another year left after this, and the Vegas Golden Knights also have Robin Lehner. So I feel like Fleury will probably still be on the block if we do need a goalie. So I'm going to say no for now, but I'm definitely going to, you know, keep that one for the future. And Detroit just made us an offer of Erik Karlsson, guys. Not what I was hoping for in terms of value. 2 second-rounders and Sam Gagner. I mean, I know he's got a bad contract, but at that point, I feel like you just keep him and hope he plays well. And we're at the end of December here, guys, with a 19, 18, and 3 record. I know at one point in, like, November, early December, we were 2nd in the division. I think now, though, we are out of a playoff spot. Shows you how tight it is. Or no, we're in a wild card there, 41. And we're only 3 points back. The Coyotes, I think it showed, we're in 2nd. So, yeah, very, very tight Pacific Division. Canucks tied with us. Oilers 3 points back. Hurdle their leading scorer, 32 points in 40 games, isn't too bad. So I'd say we're doing about as good as I expected. Again, I knew we weren't going to be bottom of the league or anything. Like, we have too many good players, and especially with the chemistry boost, the team's going to play too good. And it looks like worst team in the league is actually the Kings. We're in our division, so that's nice. Hopefully, we get some wins against them. But I'll keep simming here up to the deadline. I don't see us being buyers, but, you know, if there's a really good trade out there, doesn't matter what time of season. If it makes our team better, I'm going to make it. So the trade deadline now, guys, the 32, 27, and 3 record, which should be good enough for a playoff spot just because we're in a weak Pacific Division. And yeah, we're 3rd place. 1 point behind the Coyotes, 2 points behind the Ducks. How the Ducks are in 1st, I have no idea. The Oilers are 2nd last, big surprise. Same with Golden Knights, honestly, 3rd last. 2 of the best teams are in the bottom 3. Logan Couture there, 54 points, 62 games, is our current scoring leader. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad. I think, my prediction at the beginning saying we'd be a playoff team is going to be correct. Now, like I mentioned before, we're definitely not going to be buyers. Only trade I'm going to make is one that I think will be good for our future. I don't really care about, stacking up for this year. If we somehow luck into a Stanley Cup in the first year, then that's cool. But if not a big deal either. So at the trade deadline now, guys, like I was saying, we're not going to be buyers, not even a conservative buyer. I'm thinking conservative seller. Still trying to move some of those big bad contracts. And look at this, at the trade deadline, Taylor Hall, the top player available. Good chance that's the case in real life this season. Jared Spurgeon, Jonathan Toews, Brent Burns. We have on the trade blocks. That's why he's there. I didn't know it would show you your own players. That's interesting. Marc-Andre Fleury, who they already offered us. Ryan Hopkins. I wouldn't mind trying to get Nuge. Tyson Barrie, Kudobin, Jarmelson, Ranta. Okay, so some interesting names here. And look at the trade values on our team, guys, and look at this. Erik Karlsson now has a ton of value. Still 87 overall, but he's having a very good season. 11 goals and 36 assists. So we could definitely move him now, especially if we add something for hopefully a younger, better defenseman on a better contract. But probably just wait till this season's over to do that. Next, you guys are going to try and trade Simek to the Red Wings for a 4th round pick. He's making $2.2 million. He's only a 79 overall. You can usually get 79s for under $1 million. So this is really just a cap dump. 4th round pick for him. Kind of feel bad if Detroit takes this, but they do take it. Yeah, that's a nice move for us because we're going to go down like 2 overall, but save some cap space. All right, guys, so the trade deadline is now complete. Unfortunately, can only make that one trade. I was actually trying to make another one, and then somebody showed up for a Facebook Marketplace deal. I was selling my old chair, and as you guys know, you cannot pause the trade deadline. So that is one bad thing about it. It's a live thing, so if you got to go do something, you're just kind of out of luck. Now, this is a very active trade deadline. I think most of the players in the top 10 got moved. So I see Heponiemi and Noah Juleson both go to Edmonton. Florida gets Adam Larson, a 3rd round pick. Chason, it's a decent trade, honestly. Just picks moving, and CC as well to the Canucks there. Anaheim gets Lucas Johansson. Washington gets some picks. Vancouver gets Matthias Janmark. Vancouver also got Chris Kreider from the Rangers. Okay, that's pretty big. Carolina got Jason Zucker and Bluger. Anaheim got Nikita Gusev. Of course, our trade. Athanasiou goes to the Predators. Antoine Morin goes to the Flames. Jared Spurgeon and Brad Hunt go to Boston. I feel like that's a trade that's been made before in my franchise series. Spurgeon going to Boston. So Boston loads up. Edmonton gets a 1st round pick and Marc-Andre Fleury. Vegas gets Nugent Hopkins, Barrie, and Turris. Wow. I mean, they give up Nuge and the 2 guys they signed last summer. They get a 1st round pick, which is nice, and they get an elite starting goalie. But that's a big price for Edmonton to pay. Chicago gets a 1st round pick, Kudobin. Dallas got Toews and Alex Nylander. Connor Timmins goes to Arizona. Colorado got Jarmelson and Kajula. Winnipeg there gets Semi Vatanen and Cal Palmieri. I actually thought Vatanen would have signed with Winnipeg. Detroit got a 1st round pick there for Bobby Ryan, Gagne in a 3rd. Brassard, Goligoski, Labushkin to Arizona, or from Arizona to Florida. Arizona gets a 1st round pick for all of that with Devin Levi. Ryan Murray to Montreal. And then New Jersey got Alexander Romanov. Romanov for Murray. I don't know about that one, but like I said, a very, very active trade deadline. Now after the trade, guys, here's an updated look at the lines. Obviously, no change to the offense. Defense, we now have Karlsson on the 2nd pair with Jaros, and the bottom pair is Clausen and Ferraro. Jaros gets to play on the 2nd pair with Karlsson. He's getting a +1. I want it to be Ferraro, but unfortunately, we give a -3 to the bottom pair, so that was just not going to happen. So we'll keep simming here, but a month and a half left. Again, I'm hoping we make the playoffs, seeing as we kept all the veterans for, one kind of final shot here with this core before we blow it all up. Let's see if they can pull it off. Well, this is disappointing, guys. We're at the end of the season now. As you can see, finished 1 win shy of a playoff spot. 40-37-5 record. It literally all came down to this stretch of 8 games here from Montreal to LA. We lost 7 of 8. Our only win was against the Panthers. Literally, we win 1 other game in that 8-game stretch, and I think we're in. We'd be tied. Do we have the tiebreaker? I don't know, but there's a good chance if we just won 1 more game, we were in. Didn't even get a single OT loss in any of those 7 losses either. Like, that is unbelievable. So, pretty heartbreaking. Definitely a sign, I think, to blow this team up. Couture, though, had a good season. 80 points, 82 games, just under point per game. Actually, I see the Flames have 2 more wins than us, so even if we got 1 extra win, they probably would have still had the tiebreaker. But still, you can't win 1 of 8. Like, that's just honestly embarrassing. Brent Burns, 67 points there as a D-man, 36 years old, he's aging. Might be time to move on from him. Thomas Hertl, though, pretty good season. I think this was his last season to grow. Karlsson, 62, still 87 there. Timo Meier at 60, I like that. Patty Marleau, 41 years old at 57 points, ridiculous. Donato, pretty good. Kane, 54 is not bad. LeBanc, 53. I mean, what is that? We had 9 guys on the team with 50 plus points. Like, really can't be upset with that. Tyler Bozak even put up 40 points for us. So really, we're scoring a good amount. Goaltending wise, Dubnyk, not great numbers. He did have 8 shutouts, surprisingly. So he did, show up pretty big sometimes. But overall, below a .9, over 3 goals against. You'd like to see better than that. Ville Husso, very bad numbers. Definitely not going to be bringing him back. We'll take a look at the AHL team next, see if anyone went off. Blitchfield, 47 points, the best player, up to a 74. I think he started like a 71, so kind of like I said before, really not a lot to look forward to on this AHL team. The goalie here, Corner, .913 and 2.61, 75 overall. It's not too bad, honestly, for playing in the AHL. Going to take a look at scoring the entire league now. Scheifele, 102, Eichel, 99, Wheeler, Voracek, Giroux, Dylan Larkin, 97, Crosby, McDavid, Barkov, Maurice Richard Trophy winner, McDavid. Wow, that doesn't happen too often. Let's take a look at defensive scoring. I doubt Brent Burns wins it, but no, he was actually, 6th on that list. Duncan Keith outscored Brent Burns. Are you kidding me? You can see a lot of veterans here. One thing you'll notice with EA's ratings, they definitely let the veterans hold on their rating for a bit too long, and you can kind of see it there, the defensemen. And goaltending-wise, Peter Mrazek, 40 wins. I feel like he's definitely going to get a big jump in rating for Carolina, but I was actually trying to go to the rookie skaters. And Stützle, 59 points, actually outscores Kaprizov. You don't see that too often, but good for him. Lafreniere, minus 35. That's tough. Now, our AHL team did make the playoffs, and they actually just squeaked in as one of the wild cards. They weren't actually a lock until, I think, the last game they played, which they won. It looks like we'll play the Colorado Eagles there in the first round. So we'll send through this, see how they do. Maybe some light spot on this season. I can't believe we were basically playoff spot the entire year, and then in the last month after the deadline, the team absolutely chokes, which, like I said, that just shows me, I gave them one chance to prove it to me, keep this core together, and they blew it. So I'm thinking try and get as many picks and young players back for these veterans as we can, and then honestly try and, maybe sign a couple guys in free agency as long as they're on the better side of 30. Try not to get anyone too old as we are going to be doing this rebuild. Dubnyk probably let lock in free agency. Toronto Maple Leafs, Stanley Cup champions, there you go. And the Colorado Eagles were actually called their Cup champion. At least we lost the eventual champion there in the AHL. And the draft results are in. Minnesota picking first overall, jumps up from 2. We're picking 12, so kind of worst case scenario. We missed the playoffs, we didn't even have a chance at the Cup, and then we don't get a high pick. Now, I did see that there were like 5 auto-generated players in this draft class. You can see, or I guess 4 I should say. Wow, this Mills dude franchise, okay. Makes the 2021 draft just as good as 2022, 2023. Owen Power, Kent Johnson's, Matthew Beniers. So even though we're picking, 13? Dylan Gunther we could still get. I know he's a medium elite player. Now, he did bust in the Toronto franchise, but I think could make him better. Simon Edvidson we could get. Brant Clark we could get. Jesper Wallstedt. We could just get a franchise goalie if we wanted to. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get at least a couple of these medium elite players. Maybe a few, honestly, depending on how we do with trades. Even Eklund's like a medium top 6. Lots of value here for sure. And look at this, guys. Patrick Marleau retires as a San Jose Shark. I was hoping if he didn't do that, we could have traded him. Or I think his contract might have been up. But I definitely would have let him go to free agency, try and sign with a contending team. But he decided he's had a good career. Marian Hossa also calls it quits. He's already LTIR retired, though. Same with Zetterberg, Gabrick. Chara calls it quit as a capital. It's so strange. Alex Steen, another guy, LTIR retired. Same with Ryan Kessler. Derek Roy there, I didn't even know he was still in this game. Franz Nielsen. That would actually help out Detroit, I think, in terms of cap space. Dubinsky, Molson, Hainsey, Gilbert. Another guy I didn't even realize was in this game. Goaltenders. Popperol, I think is how you say his name. No idea who this guy is. Apparently, he's the only goalie that retired, though. And heading to the draft, guys, I have the 5 big contracts on this team, all in the block. Edward Vlasic's gone down in rating to 83, so his value's not too high. Kane stayed 85. Couture up to an 87, so his value's worth more now. Same with Carlson, 88, much higher. Even Burns there's a 90. He actually got the biggest jump, but Carlson has the higher value, surprisingly, even though he's making $3.5 million more. I think it's because he's younger. So I think, waiting honestly paid off as 3 of the 5 guys went up in value. Kane stayed the same. Edward Vlasic went down. I'll take that. So here we go, guys. First big trade I'm trying to make is Brent Burns to the Montreal Canadiens for their first round pick. 14th overall. Should be a guaranteed medium elite. Ryan Murray and Armia were just taken back for the cap. For some reason, the game makes you worry about the cap at the trade deadline when it shouldn't matter if they don't have a contract, which Armia and Murray do not. Now, we could actually sign both these guys if we wanted to, but we had the option to let them go. Brent Burns is up in rating to a 90, like I said, a +3. 36 years old, though. He could fall off a cliff at any moment, and I've seen him fall off quite hard before in franchise. So I'd rather sell high right now. I think we were getting offered like, what, a second-round pick or something for him before. Now we're getting a guaranteed medium elite player. I think it's a good trade. Plus, we can use that cap space in free agency. We'll see what Montreal says. We're just we're blowing this team up. And they accept the deal. Okay, so you got to make sure you take a good player with that pick. Next year, guys, I'm offering Evander Kane, a second-round pick next year to the Calgary Flames for 16th overall. We'll see what they say to this. Trade's accepted. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. We are now picking, what are we picking? 12, 14, and 16. Should be able to get 3 medium elite players there. I'm going to actually sim to our pick now, which is pick number 12. And Fabian Lysell just went 63 overall, high top 6. Zachary Leroux before him. Luke Hughes, the Islanders. Autry Brown to the Canucks. Matthew Beniers, the Oilers. Kent Johnson as well, the Oilers. Back-to-back picks. Both Michigan players, that's nasty. Made-up guy to the Sens. Owen Power to the Rangers. Made-up guy to the Sabres and the Kings. And this franchise guy, first overall, the Wild. So they're looking pretty good. Now, I would like to for sure get Jesper Wallstedt with one of our picks because the Sharks really don't have a prospect goalie. We could get one of the best ones. And he's pretty low there, so I think we can get him with the third one. This Afanasankov guy is made up. So I'm going to take, I think, Gunther, because he's actually the only forward left. Then I'll take one of Lambos, Edmondson, Clark with our next pick. I'm good with whoever. And then I'll take Wallstedt with the third pick. So we'll get a forward, a defenseman, and a goalie to build this team around. I'm trying to think who usually turns out the best. A lot of the times, Clark's a bit of a bust. Lambos also maybe might be a bust sometimes. Edmondson, I honestly don't know. Gunther, I'm going to take. Maybe he'll finally kind of, not be a bust for us. I know Toronto he was. I'm going to make sure he plays a ton. So, next pick here. Chicago took that Afanasankov guy. Second overall, mainly defenseman. That was probably the pick, honestly. I should have taken him, I guess. But, we didn't have any sky information on him. Made up dude. So, defenseman here. Like I said, I took Clark last time. Ended up being a bit of a bust. I'm thinking Lambos or Edmondson. Let's see. Erik Karlsson, similar style. I don't know about that. NHL ETA, 1 year. Edmondson, they're saying Char, similar style, 2 years. So Lambos is going to be the highest rated between those two. Clark's also 2 years. So maybe I go Lambos here, honestly, over Edmondson. Or do I take Wallstedt and let the computers decide for me? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Wallstedt. We'll still get one of the defensemen. There's 3 of them. Let's see. Edmondson gets taken by the Capitals. 68 medium elite. Okay, so yeah, I think we're going to go Lambos here. Clark, like I said, usually ends up being a bit of a bust. And Lambos is a 68 medium elite. The exact same as Edmondson. So it's probably just going to come down to how they develop. I feel like these 3 guys here, though, Gunther, Wallstedt, and Lambos are a solid, core to build around. Wallstedt especially, medium franchise. He could probably just put this team on his back if he wants to. Now, our next pick, guys, is number 74. I'm going to take this Maple Top Sniper, guaranteed low top 6. He's a gem. Our scouts like him. 64 overall. Hopefully, could turn out for us. And next, you guys are trying to offload Marco Vlasic's contract, trading him and a 5th-round pick to Columbus Blue Jackets for a 2nd-round pick next year. Pretty equal value. They have some cap space. Let's see what they say. Trade is accepted. Wow. So, I mean, I think that's a good trade. Because, yeah, even if he turns it around a bit, that is a big contract for a 34-year-old. He's making $7 million for, 6 more years? I think it's really 5 more years, as they haven't taken off the current season yet. But I like that move a lot for us. We still have 2 more 4th-round picks as well. And there's 2 more solid guys I want to get. So I'm just going to take them both here. Even if it's a little early, I don't care. Guaranteed medium top 6. Defenseman, medium top 9 forward. Low top 9 gem, 123. There was actually a guy who's got a very good chance to be medium elite. McGuire, 140. I'm going to take him right now. If he's a medium elite, it's steal. And he is. Only 50 overall, but medium elite in the 4th round. Absolute steal. I love that pick for us. So another pick here. We actually have the 420 pick. 4th round, 20th pick. Malik, a guaranteed medium starter. I think I go with him over the low top 9 gem because, I don't really care what he's rated. It's a low top 9. So now we're going to pick number 167. I assume our gem's gone, but like I said, I'm fine with that. This Malkin defenseman, there's a small chance he's medium elite. Our gem is gone, so maybe let's look at potential here. This goalie could be medium elite as well. I'll take Malkin just because he's the next player to go. Then I'll probably take that goalie. Wow. Malkin's a 53 medium top 4. We are hitting right now with our late picks. Scouts did their work. And the final pick here in this draft for us, 7th round. There's a medium backup. This goalie is going to be the next pick. 50-50 medium elite Habs Ched. Medium backup. Okay, so we finally missed our last pick, but that's okay. Overall, what a draft for us. Like I said, I think the fact we got a forward, defenseman, and goalie in that first round, and Gunther, Wallstedt, and Lambos, medium elite later on, medium top 4. Lot to look forward to. So we're at the resign phase here, guys, and even after all those trades, we still only have $36.5 million in cap space. I thought we'd have like $50 million, but I mean, Carlson and Couture are still making $20 million combined. Honestly, I'm thinking about trading both of them this summer. I feel like if we're gonna do a rebuild, might as well do it right and completely blow this team up. Ryan Donato now, he's actually a bit of an unsung hero last season. Up to an 84 overall from 81. Potential's also gone up from a medium top 6 to high top 6. He wants 5.2 there for 5 years. I'm not sure about that length of contract. I'm thinking more of a bridge deal. Let's do 4.5 here for 2. See if he can kind of keep up that play, because he was only an 81. Ryan Murray as well. I mean, we lost Edward Vlasic, we lost Brent Burns. 84 overall for 4.7 for 6 years. I have injuries turned off, so he's not going to get injured that much. I'll do 4.5 for 3, because we do need some players. He's a guy we could definitely flip. Plus, he actually is interested in an extension. Tyler Bozak, 35 years old. I can definitely get somebody else in our bottom 6. Sorensen for the right price. That's a pretty good price. I'll offer 1.25. I think, around that price I'd keep him. Same with Armia. Anything under 1.5. Wow. 975k for 2 years. 80 overall. Yes, please. Gamble here wants 1.3 for 2. I'm thinking more of the 950k there for 1, because he hasn't gone up in rating at all. I'm not sure if he's going to. Nieto, 2879. He wants 1.8. Wow, I was going to say, he'd have to be under $1 million for me to keep him. Nosen there, 2878. He can just go. Bolsters played second line last year, didn't really do much, and he wants $1 million. Honestly, I'm just going to let him go. He didn't do anything on the second line, and he's asking us for a pay raise. Gregor's a decent AHL player, so we'll keep him. Next, you're looking at the goalies. Devin Dunix at UFA. Only wants $1.5 million, though, for 2 years. I'm thinking 1.5 for 1 year could be a really good backup to whoever we sign as a starter, because we're going to need a backup anyway. Husso, I think, can be the AHL starter. Corner there, I guess, will be the AHL backup. 750k for 1 year, that's fine. Amon, I'm honestly going to try and get somebody to take from us. I accidentally skipped it, but Joel Armia's joined the team along with Ryan Murray. So the two guys that were just add-ons are actually both signing with us. Devin Dunix coming back. He'll be the backup, though. Sorensen wants a bit more money. Gregor's coming back. Donato wants a bit more money. Gambrel, though, is coming back. Corner their AHL guys. So Donato, I feel he said he wanted like a bigger term. I'm not down for that. Let's just try getting him $5 million there for 2 years. He can prove it to us on that bridge. Sorensen, again, an 80. You can usually get an 80 for a lot cheaper than 1.5. I'm really not tied to him, so I'm just going to let him go. Gives us even more money to play with in free agency. And there we go. Ryan Donato accepted the $5 million for 2 years. I think there was somebody else. Jaros, I think we got Brack. He might be a bomb pair defenseman for us again. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that's everybody. We still have almost $30 million now to spend in free agency, but honestly, I probably won't spend it all because I'm trying to be bad, trying to get, Shane Wright, Brad Lambert, and Matthew Savoy, and that's not going to be the case if we sign all the best free agents. And another free agency period, guys, with a ton of money to spend. I'm actually excited for free agency this year. It's the last, 4 or 5 seasons of our lease franchise. We're always, spending to the cap. Couldn't really be involved in free agency. Oh my goodness. 95 overall, Alex Ovechkin's available. The thing is, he's a 35-year-old sniper. We're trying to tank. Now, Kaprizov as an RFA is interesting. Very interesting. He wants $10 million. Oh my goodness. Zach Hyman wants 7.8 as an 86. Gabe Landeskog is only 28. Brady Tkachuk wants 7.6. I mean, we can afford all these guys in terms of the salary. But all the RFAs, of course, we'd have to give up picks for. I'm looking at some of the contract asks here, and they're very expensive. Adam Pellich, 26. So he's got 1 more year to grow. As you can see, I bumped him to a high top 4. Wants just under 5. 84 overall. I think I bumped him up. He was an 82, maybe 83. EA had him. I knew he just didn't feel high enough to me. If we did keep Carlson, he would be a very good complement as a defensive defenseman. So he's an option potentially, because we do need at least 1, maybe 2 defensemen. Anthony Duclair as well could be a guy we're going to put in the top 6. He's still only 25 years old. 50 points last year, 22 goals. That's not too bad at all. Definitely a guy I think we could have, a few years from now. We're hopefully starting to compete. Athanasiu as well. Mid-20s is basically kind of the age I'm looking for. Alex Wenberg, 26 years old, 84 overall. 1 year left to grow. He's got low top 6 potential. I've seen him bounce back, though, get to like 87. Really good playmaker. You put him with a sniper, even say like Duclair. Could be a nice little combo. Now, I'm not going to sign anyone right away, guys. I still want to make a couple trades first. Also, I said how we need a starting goalie. Dunix the backup. Tuukka Rask, he's 34 years old, though. Jordan Bainton, only 27. That's right. I don't think they've added extension he signed to this game yet. I should have done that, but I didn't, and St. Louis didn't extend him. Interesting. 27-year-old Jordan Bainton. I'm kind of liking him. Linus Ullmark is a lot, or it's actually not that much cheaper. It's $1.5 million cheaper, 3 overall lower. 27, basically as young as you can be for a UFA. I'll give Bainton a contract offer. I think, you know, why not? Grubauer there's a couple years older, 1 overall less. He actually wants more money. So Bainton here to be our starting goalie, 3 years, so he's 30. I think that's pretty fair. It's off from, when we have money. Let's do 5.35. Hopefully that's a good contract offer. Also, guys, you might notice here, Ilya Sorokin's a 25-year-old, 83 overall goalie with medium elite potential. EA did him dirty. I think they made him like 80 medium starter. He's pretty much as good as Shesterkin, you know, maybe slightly worse. I don't know what they were thinking on that one. So definitely, if you guys have not upgraded him, you need to. Now looking at two-way goalies here, Saugard, 2068 medium starter. If I can get him for free. Oh no, I didn't realize Vancouver. Oh wait. Vancouver's interested. I thought he was an RFA. He's not. Philip Gustafson, 2378 medium starter. He'd also be pretty solid. You also got Alan Felt down here, 20 years old, 71 overall medium starter. I'm not sure who's better between him and Gustafson. Honestly, I could sign all 3 of these guys and just trade away my crap goalies before they, you know, make a decision. That way we have the spots. I'm also looking at two-way players here. Drury, 21 years old, 22 overall, low top 6. I feel like he's at least worth the contract. Kuffner's basically a bust. Pastula, 2061, low top 6. We have some roster spots open. Usually doesn't really make, you know, grow into much, but you never know. Genny Svechnikov, I've seen get to like 80 before, so I will make that offer. Never mind, it's an RFA, I didn't realize that. Belpedio, 24, medium top 4. I mean, we could use him in the AHL. I'm not sure if he's an RFA. He's not, so yeah, I could take him. Salen here as well, he's almost always available. And I also made offers on these 3 medium top 9 forwards, all 21, 66, 67, and 68 respectively. Again, AHL or trade bait in the future. So right here, guys, offering Husso to the Arizona Coyotes for a 7th round pick. Again, just trying to clear goalie spots so we can actually bring in all the ones we signed. Apparently, he's not even worth a 7. What if we just give them Husso for free? Now they say yes. For some reason, Vancouver wants this Amon goalie. Low fringe potential, 21 years old, 64 overall. So we're going to try and get a 6th round pick from them. They said no to the 6th. What about a 7th? They still say no to the 7th. Okay, if I'm adding another 7th round pick here, I want them to take both these guys off my hands. There we go. Next year, guys, making a big trade to Winnipeg Jets, offering them Logan Couture, 1-for-1 for Cole Perfetti. He's on the block. He's a good prospect, 19 years old, 72 overall. Basically averaged a point per game last year in the OHL. I've seen him get up to like 90 overall. Couture's an 87, but he's 32 years old, making $8 million for 6 more years, so he's late 30s. And again, I'm tearing it all down here. Completely rebuilding, scorched earth. I think the Jets say yes to this. They have the cap space for him. Trades accepted, okay, so hopefully that's a good one. Alright guys, I doubt the Wild say yes to this, but I'm offering them Erik Karlsson for Kaprizov and Boldy. Kaprizov, of course, needs a new contract, 24 years old, 85 overall, 57 points last year with 30 goals. Matthew Boldy, solid prospect, 20 years old, 80 overall, high top 6. Looks like he had 66 points in the AHL, so very impressive. If we get those 2 guys, like that's really going to jumpstart this rebuild. Let's see what the Wild say here. Wow. I didn't think they were going to go for that. Oh my gosh. Karlsson wasn't even on their radar. I mean, maybe we could have traded Karlsson for somebody else, but I did try, you know, trading him 1-for-1 for like Quinn Hughes, Makar. They weren't going for that because why would they trade somebody who's about to be as good as him, who's going to be on a cheaper contract and much younger? But I'm really surprised Minnesota said yes to that. So their defense is ridiculous now, at least for the short term. Karlsson, Suter, Dumba, Brodin. But that's right, they did trade Jared Spurgeon to Boston, plus Suter's on the block. I'm very happy with that. I mean, we have $43 million, more than enough money to get Kaprizov signed. And speaking of Kaprizov, guys, I'm going to try and lock him up here. 5 years, he wants almost $10 million. He's only an 85. We have money, though. I think 4 years is probably the sweet spot. At 7.5, I think he'll take. And right now might be a bit of an overpayment, but if he plays first line for us, has good chem, does well, I think he'll definitely be worth that contract. And I just noticed, guys, we have almost $46 million in cap space. We still need at least 4 more forwards and 4 more defensemen. We only made offers on AHL guys. Jordan Bainton, I'm curious if he'll say yes. If not, I actually saw Vancouver has Demko on the block, so we could try and make a move for him. a bit younger than Binnington, and I think he actually had a bit more potential, but of course we have to give up assets to get him, where Binnington would be free. So Nugent Hopkins wants 9.5. That's crazy. I'm going to go for defense first because our defense is just so bad right now. Brandon Montour, they're all so expensive though. Adam Pelech is the guy for sure. 26. He actually makes sense for us to sign. It's off for like 5.25 for 4 years. This is an interesting one. Nikita Zadorov, 26 years old, but he's a UFA. Only 80 overall, 1 year left to grow. He wants 1.8 for 2 years. I think that's pretty fair. I mean, I'll do that. Really have nothing to lose on him. We could easily flip him if he's not playing well. And speaking of the Canucks, Olli Levy here is at RFA. He wants 1.6 million for 2 years. 1 year, 1.1. Let's try and see if we can steal him without having to give up any picks. Like 1.25 is the max offer. That'd be pretty nice if they just, some reason, don't match that. And I think I'm going to wait on the rest of the defensemen and see if, anyone gets cheaper. In terms of the forwards, I mean, Gabe Landeskog would be pretty nice. Brady Tkachuk is the guy we'd have to make a trade for. Maybe we could have traded Carlson back to Ottawa. 1 for Tkachuk. I don't know if I want to do that to him, though. And Gabe Landeskog there, honestly, is really good value. 88 overall, wants 7.7. New just 2 overall lower. Wants $2 million more. We have so much money. I'm going to do a shorter term deal. But I'll, give him some money before we have to, re-sign all of our free agent stuff like that. So 8.2 there for 2. I mentioned before, Anthony Duclair I'd like to sign. 5 years, though, is a lot for me. Let's try 2 years, $5 million. Again, short-term deals, stuff we can move if we need to. Let's get the playmaker for him, Alex Wenberg, 26. Let's do 2 years again. We'll try 4.25 on him. And look who I just found, guys. Jumbo Joe, signed with the Maple Leafs, won a Stanley Cup. Why not bring him back, let him retire San Jose Sharks, similar to Patty Marleau. Unfortunately for Marleau, he did not get that Stanley Cup. I want Thornton just because. So I'm going to offer 1 year, 2.5. Not really smart, but I'm just doing it to do it. Paul Stassi's available, 35 years old, down to an 81 overall, so he dropped. I want to say he was like 83 before. He didn't even have 30 points last year, but I'm sure a big reason for that is he only had 10 minutes of ice per game. Andrew Kopp, though, 26, 81, wants 1.8. I would love to bring him to the team. 1 year, that's fine with me. We'll do like 1 year, 1.95. Now, if we missed out on anyone, I think Paul Stastny could be a good value signing. Jason Dickinson, 25.79. Just a good player, I think, to get for free. So I'm going to give him an offer. Same with Dennis Melgan here. I am offering so many things. Okay, so I don't even know, honestly, if we have enough roster spots. I'm probably going to have to go trade away some of our bad contracts just to make sure. All right, guys, we're going to see if Tampa Bay wants these extra dudes for 7th. And they do. That's nice. Okay, so we're only at 28 contracts. I don't think we made 22 offers, but I just wanted to be sure. Don't miss out on someone we really like because we signed an AHL guy or whatever. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm excited. Curtis Douglas, AHL guy. Cole Reinhardt, Cole Fonstead, getting all the Coles. Matt Saugards will be in the AHL for us. Cal Salin there. Pastrula. Okay, so a lot of AHL guys signing. Andrew Kopp, let's go. He'll be in the bottom 6. Nikita Zadorov, we need a defenseman. Jason Dickinson, Anthony Duclair. Potentially top 6, for sure top 9. Alex Wenberg, I'm thinking, pair those two up. Adam Pelech. A lot of guys are signing with our team. Joe Thornton returns to San Jose. Let's go. Olli Levy as well accepts as of now, but Canucks probably are going to match it. Philip Gustafson, who I think will be the AHL starter. Svechnikov also accepts as of now. Belpedio, Malgin, Alan Feltz. We got all 3 of those solid AHL goalies. Drury there was a decent player too. Still haven't heard from Kaprizov. The Canucks chose to match. I figured that for Levy. Landeskog, let's go. That is a big signing. He'll jump into our top 6. And Kaprizov also agreed to that contract. I feel like that was the best one. 4 years, $8 million. Binnington as well. So like I was saying, Demko I think is 25, and he's like an 85. So he's 1 overall below, but he's younger. We got Binnington for free. I'm happy with that, especially because we have Wallstedt coming up. Wallstedt's going to be the guy in a few years once Binnington's contract is all done. So, wow. What a free agency for us. I mean, what a just kind of first day there of the summer. That actually worked out perfect. We're at 49 to 50 contracts. And I wanted to show you guys. So trade value, Landeskog is actually the highest trade value player on this team now. You then have all the young players who are building this new core around. Cole Perfetti, Ryan Merkley, Dylan Gunther, Carson Lambos, this McGuire guy, Kaprizov, Boldy, Hurdle. I'm surprised Kaprizov's so low. In terms of goaltending, we got Wallstedt, who's going to be the goalie of the future. Binnington starter, Dubnyk backing him up. We then have Saugard, Allen Felt, and Gustafson all in the AHL this year. So they're pretty solid. I mean, I'm surprised they have such low value. Allen Felt's only 20 years old, already has 71 overall, and he's medium starter potential. I feel like, you should have more value than that. So You can see our draft pick there, first round. They don't really, have much faith in us, which I think is fair. I don't want to be good. I just want to have some growth on this team. Defensively, we only have 3 guys 80 plus, so could use at least 1 more defenseman, probably 2. Forwards, though, I think we're good. All right, guys, and next year I noticed Anaheim has Jamie Drysdale on the block. Why? I have no idea. Solid prospect defenseman, 19 years old, 70 overall, medium league potential. Offering them our 2024 first-round pick. I feel like by then we'll be a decent team. Dennis Malgin as well, as the first-round pick isn't quite equal to Drysdale. And I noticed we actually have too many NHL forwards now. After not having enough, we just went, crazy signing guys. We'll see what they say. I'd probably have to add still more, but Drysdale's 100% worth it. Never mind. Wow, they took that. I'm hoping by 2024, that's like the 31st pick, in which case we just fleeced Anaheim. And next year, guys, I'm trying to get Alexander Alexiev from the Washington Capitals. For some reason, he's on the block. Solid young defenseman, 21 years old, 78 overall. Minor top 2 role. For us, he's actually on our bottom NHL pair. Offering up, I'm going to butcher his name here, but Kanizev, 20 years old, 67 overall. So Alexiev's a year older and like 11 overall higher. Also, Sawgard, we just signed, but he'd literally be our 3rd goalie in the AHL. So why not, move him here if he can help us with a trade. I know a lot of people don't like when I sign guys and trade them very shortly after, but what are you going to do? We'll see what the Capitals say. Alexiev's on the block, and they say yes. This is crazy. Like, we are completely, changing up the Sharks team, and I think for the better. And next year, guys, are trying to get Shane Gostisbehere from the Philadelphia Flyers. I noticed we really don't have an offensive defenseman. 20 years old, 82 overall. Pretty good offensive stats, and his value was not high at all, so I think we can get him very cheap. He isn't on the block, but when you look at that value, it's pretty non-existent. Plus, he's still pretty young at 28. Jason Dickinson here I signed, but he's going to be in the AHL. He's an NHL player. Role 4th line forward, 79 overall, medium top 6. Also, I need a 4th round pick. Flyers want both things. I think there's a good chance this goes through. Trades rejected. Okay, so I don't know. I don't really want to give up a 3rd round pick this year because I think we're going to be terrible. Maybe I give up another 4th round pick the year after this one. Hopefully the Flyers say yes to that. It says we need to sweeten the value just a touch. Let's see if a 6th round pick gets it done. Dickinson, 2 4ths in the 6th for Gostisbehere. And there we go. Okay, so I think we're all done. The team is definitely going to be competitive, and they should be fun. I kind of purposely made the defense not that great, because that way it should be hard for us to win games without great defense. But we got a decent goalie in Bennington, and we got good forwards who I think should grow throughout the season. But again, not trying to do amazing, trying, have a high pick there. Get right, Savoy or Lambert. Alright guys, so let's start the preseason. Before I show you the lines, I first wanted to show you the trade values on this team. You might notice most of the top players are not in the NHL. The only ones that are Gabe Landeskog and Kaprizov, Perfetti, Drysdale in the juniors, Gunther Lambos unsigned, Merkley's in the AHL, McGuire's unsigned, Hurdle is in the NHL, but then you've also got Walsett, of course, in goal as our franchise goalie of the future. So just kind of wanted to show you guys that before I show you the lines, as the lines are actually much better than I expected. Team stats is stellar, but we're kind of nasty. Like, I'm really excited to see what happens. Thomas Hurdle, Alex Wenberg, Timu Meyer on the first line get a +5. Let's go. You'll be playing like 290s and an 89. I think they're just going to go off next season. Landeskog on the second line with Donato and Kaprizov. That looks pretty solid. Boldy playing with Thornton and Duclair on the third line. Both Duclair and Boldy have really nice shots. Boldy especially. Like, look at that. Mid-90s for power, high 80 accuracy. Playing with a pure playmaker and Joe Thornton. That could be really good for him. The fourth line, Kevin LeBanc is on somehow. We actually just ended up with way more depth than I expected. Andrew Kopp is centering it. Joel Armia on the right wing. Defensively, check this out. Another +5. Adam Pellich on the top pair there. Shane Gostisbehere. Murray and Zadorov on the second. And then we have Ferraro and Alexiev on the bottom. Ferraro actually went up by 2 in the summer. Zadorov went up by 1. I think Alexiev went up by 1 as well. In terms of the forward, I think Kaprizov went up 1. Boldy went up 4, which is just huge for us. Goalies, of course, Bennington starter. Dubnyk backing him up. AHL, you can see Gustin there. Went up a couple, and now an 80. Allenfeld, I think, also went up a couple, but it was a 71. We have Gamble there as our first line AHL center, is 80 overall. The rest of them are mostly 70s. Defensively, Merkley's on that top pair, 21 years old, 74 overall. Want him to grow, become like a really good offensive defenseman for us in the future. The rest of the D-man are pretty mad. Like I was saying, most of our top players aren't even in, the pros. They're in juniors or just scratched right now. So very excited, like I said, to see what we do next season. We'll take a look here at the overalls. Probably offense has to be our highest. Defense do, I'd be the lowest as well. So we have 93 offense, 88 defense, 86 goaltending. really that's not even that bad. You guys might notice I actually have Gabe Landeskog wearing an A. And I'm going to let you guys know I don't have a captain. I want you to decide who will be the future captain of the San Jose Sharks. I really just couldn't pick a captain. Joe Thornton there is one of the other alternates along with Thomas Hertl. I figured Hertl was a guy that was actually on the team last year. Joe Thornton, of course, a veteran from previous Sharks teams. I also gave him his number 19 back before he was number 97. And then Landeskog was the captain of the Avalanche. So I feel like those are my top 3 contenders for the captaincy. But if you guys want it to be somebody else, literally doesn't matter. Let me know. And I'll give them the C for next episode. But that's where I'm going to end this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Basically a brand new team heading into Season 2. So can't wait to see what happens. If you guys did enjoy this one, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit the sub button. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.